The people shorting AMC stock, they're going short. Are they evil? No, they are not, and I'm going to explain why they're not evil at all. But to best set this up, let me just ask you a question here. Who do you become? Who do you become in terms of what? Well, who do you become in terms of the trade itself? And I'm not trying to insult your intelligence, but just to set up the context, you need to enter into a trade, right? But just because you enter into a trade does not mean anything because, well, in order to make money or lose money, you have to what? You have to exit the trade, right? But after you enter in, the question becomes, all right, you are now in the trade, but who are you? Who have you become? Well, let's look at it from a shorting dynamic. A shorting dynamic, those people that have now entered into the trade, what does a short have to do in order to get out of the trade? Well, they have to what? If a short wants to exit the trade, they got to buy. So is that good or bad for AMC stock? Well, I'm assuming saying, well, if they're buying is good. Exactly. So I'm going to put that over here because that is what's going on. It is a good dynamic to be buying. So in other words, shorts literally become guaranteed buyers. How is that evil? I don't understand. How is somebody willing to turn themselves into a guaranteed buyer a bad thing? And let's look at the other thing. Let's say you go long, right? So you enter into the trade by going long. In order for you to exit the trade, what does a long have to do? Somebody that I'm buying the stock. Okay, well, that's fine, but that's only half of it. What do you have to do now to exit the trade? Well, you have to sell. In other words, you become a guaranteed seller. And as far as, well, is that good or bad? Well, I don't know, selling, that's when you exit, longs have to sell. That's bad. That's bad for the stock. You're selling it. So if you were to ask me, who's the evil ones here? I don't know, it sounds like the longs are the one. They're the ones that are becoming guaranteed sellers. The shorts are becoming guaranteed buyers. Now, of course, I'm using circular logic here because I realize I'm leaving something out here. And you are absolutely right to say, whoa, Clay, you're spinning this in a little bit of a different direction because you're focusing on what about the entering the trade? And you're right. So what does a short, or we'll start with long, what does a long have to do to enter? Well, they have to what? They have to buy, right? And buying, well, that is going to be good. So right there, we'll give credit where credit's due. A long, in order to enter into a trade, has to first buy. What about a short? Well, a short, in order to enter the trade, has to sell first, right? Which is bad. And I'm not trying to insult your kindergarten-esh education, but you notice the number of good and bads across the board? They're even. So my point here is this. The markets are even. You can argue it both ways. I understand you can say, well, shorts want the price to go down. Yeah, that's true, but it's hard for the price to go down when they're out there needing to buy. Just like, well, longs want the price to go up. Yeah, it's hard for the price to go up when you have longs out there that in order to exit and make money, they're going to sell, which prevents the price from going up. So the markets, it's all circular logic. It's all balanced. Now, if you want to get into, well, certain people use certain manipulation tactics and let's be real though. Longs also use manipulation tactics, right? Longs, and this is, it could be a company releasing things that are not true because they want the price to go up. It could be a report, one of these reports. It could be one of these analysts that are putting some bizarre, crazy price targets out there, Kathy Wood, about certain stocks and stuff because, well, they want the price to go up, which is a form of manipulation. It could just be a bunch of people, regular, everyday people that get together, use this technology known as the internet, and use a subset of this technology known as social media and message boards to all get together and say, you know what? There are a bunch of guaranteed buyers in a situation, right? They've identified a stock where they know there are guaranteed buyers there. And they are saying, and again, it's genius, it's brilliant. I mean, it's nothing new, it's been around for a while, but the scale is different. But they've come together and said, you know what? There's a bunch of people that have turned themselves into guaranteed buyers. How can we get them to buy? And that's another form of manipulation. So my point is, yes, manipulation exists to the downside. People want prices to go down. People do sketchy stuff to get prices to go down. But people also do sketchy stuff to get price to go up. Have you ever heard of Enron, for example, off the top of my head? All right, so again, my point here is that nobody's right or wrong. It's just that it exists on both sides of the equation. But people get so thrown off kilter because, well, shorts have to sell to enter the trade. But then those people forget, or maybe are not aware, if you don't understand how shorting works. Well, yeah, but in order to exit, they have to buy. Whereas long, oh yeah, see, everybody's buying. Well, yeah, but all buying does is ensure that you're guaranteed to have to sell at some point, which is just not good. And I do all this because I did a video recently about where I showed me shorting some AMC stock, and it upset some of these, as they call themselves, the apes. And I don't have anything against the apes. I think it's hilarious. I think all these people coming together and sticking it to Wall Street is funny, but as a day trader, I really don't care because if prices go up or down, I'm ready to trade. I'm just here to trade probabilities. I'm here to locate setups that I believe have a most likely chance of happening in my favor, and that's my job as a trader. You don't have to trade like me, but like I said, it really seemed to rub people the wrong way that oh well, you're shorting. That's bad. No, I don't. I would argue I'm the one that's the good guy here because I am willing to turn myself into a guaranteed buyer. All you're willing to do is turn yourself into a guaranteed seller. So who's really that bad guy here? Who's really the evil person here? But again, that's a circular question. Nobody's bad. Nobody's evil because I do realize that, well, yeah, for me to enter, I had to sell. Just like for you to enter, you had to buy. So, I mean, yes, it is definitely a partial truth on my end to try to rearrange it and say, what? You're the guaranteed seller here. I'm the guaranteed buyer. So like I said, it's all circular and it all balances out. So just keep that in mind. Nobody's evil. Nobody's right or wrong. Now, people are right or wrong in the sense of the people that were shorting, hey, they've been wrong in the big picture because the price has gone up. But that sometimes the longs are wrong and prices go down. But that's just the nature of the market. And that is why, yeah, nobody's evil. Nobody's, there's kind of I get the feeling of there's almost like this self-righteous thing out there, like, hey, you're shorting. You're just, I believe in things. Well, if you believe in things, why are you turning yourself into a guaranteed seller? But again, that's a half truth on my part because it's a two-sided equation. So that's just want to give my thoughts on that after that video came out, and there were some people that were, like I said, really upset. So just something to think about. And like I said, at the end of the day, I commend you if you're an ape, you're out there, instead of taking your money and going and wasting it on Netflix, at least you're trying to grow your money. So we are all cut from the same cloth in that regard. So we have common ground in that regard. All I'm saying is you got to also keep things in perspective and not go too far down. Now, you can have strong opinions about why you believe in this stock or this asset, and that's fine, but just you don't have to be offended if somebody else disagrees with you or think that the other person is evil, because as explained, that's just not the case because everything does ultimately balance itself out. So thanks for listening. Hopefully this helps. If you enjoyed it, I'm sure I'll still get some hate comments, a bunch of maybe thumbs down here, but it is what it is because I've also learned that a lot of people, especially with the AMC, they don't even watch videos. Like because I said short sellers are not evil, automatic thumbs down without even watching the video. So I realize that there's that out there. But for those that are still listening right now and you did listen, hopefully with an open mind, and all seriousness, thank you. Good job. I appreciate you listening with an open mind. And if you still disagree with me, hey, at least we, like I said, at least you listened, and at least we have that common ground of we're out there trying to grow our money, which is always a good thing to be, as opposed to wasting our money and then expecting the government to help us out. Oh, I wasted my money. Give me more. No. In this situation, we're definitely on the common ground. So thanks for hanging out. If you enjoyed, hit that like button. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.